afternoon. It's the appointed time. We have a quorum. I call to order the meeting of the panel on security. The first agenda item is election of chairman and deputy chairman. We now proceed specifically to the election of the office of chairman. The Secretariat issued a circular to inform members that only one valid nomination for the office of chairman had been received. The nominee is Ms. Carmen Khan, and the nomination was made by me and seconded by Mr. Martin Liao. Because Ms. Carmen Khan is not a chairman or a deputy chairman of another panel or any relevant government advisory bodies, in accordance with the rules of procedure and the House rules, I declare Ms. Carmen Khan elected as the chairman of the panel. Would Ms. Carmen Khan please preside over the meeting? Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank members for your trust and support. I will now proceed to the election of the deputy chairman. The Secretariat issued a circular to inform members that only one valid nomination was for the office of deputy chairman had been received. The nominee is Mr. Yang Wing-kit. The nomination was made by Dr. Johnny and seconded by Mr. Dominic Lee. Because Mr. Yang Wing-kit is not a chairman or a deputy chairman of another panel or any relevant government advisory bodies, in accordance with the rules of procedure and the House rules, I declare Mr. Yang Wing-kit elected as the deputy chairman of the panel. Alright, let's move on to agenda item number 2, schedule of meetings for the 2025 session. I suggest that we follow the arrangements of the last session. That is to have regular meetings at 2:30 p.m. on the first Tuesday of each month. If members agree, you may refer to the proposed schedule of meetings tabled before you. The first meeting is to be held at 2:30 p.m. on 4th of February. However, in March, we may have some members that would have to attend the two sessions. I suggest that the regular meeting in March be rescheduled to 10:45 in the morning on 17th of March. It's a Monday. Do members have any objections? If not, will members please note these dates? Moving on to the third agenda item, items for discussion at the next meeting. The list of outstanding items for discussion is LC paper number CB-2 41/2025 (01). The list of follow-up actions is LC paper number CB-2 41/2025 (02). The two lists have been sent to members for reference. If members agree to follow the meeting arrangements for the last session, we will hold the regular meeting in February on 4th of February, a Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. The administration proposes to discuss the two following items. 1. Implementation of the protocol against the illicit manufacturing of and trafficking in firearms, their parts and components and ammunition, supplementing the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime. And 2. Registered Fire Engineer Scheme. These are the first two items on the list of outstanding items for discussion. If members have any objections. Yes, Mr. Tan Ka-Piu. I do support these two items being discussed, but then I think there is great concern of members of the public that there would be illegal detention, that is detained to engage in illegal work, and we had recently a high-profile singer canceling his concert in Thailand. I know that the government has been working on this, but I hope at a panel meeting we can discuss the latest situation of such incidents, or we can perhaps look into whether it is possible to enact legislation to tackle the problem. I think because this issue is of great public concern, we can discuss this as soon as possible, perhaps in February or even in January, because people may travel during the Chinese New Year holidays. Well, there is going to be an agenda item coming after this that we would talk about the proposed items for discussion for this session. I will definitely convey your views to the administration. Let me also say this. In February, we will hold a special meeting as per usual. We will have the Commissioner of Police make a report as he would always do at the beginning of the year on the latest law and order situation of the territory. So the administration proposes to have a meeting on 11th of February, a Tuesday, 2:30 to 4 in the afternoon, to have this report on the law and order situation in 2024. And that is the third item on the list of outstanding items for discussion. Do members have any objections? If not, we will discuss that in February in the special meeting. All right. For the next items for the other items for discussion at the other regular meetings. The Deputy Chairman and I will meet with the Secretary for Security to hold a meeting to formulate a work plan for the panel. I'll now ask members to propose items for discussion for this session. Mr. Rincon. Thank you, Chair. I have two items that I would like to propose for discussion. One is on the fake refugee issue, or bogus refugee issue. I think there is much room in our treatment of these bogus refugees. We spend a lot of money on them, and I think we can perhaps take a more focused approach in our discussion of this issue. Next, begging for alms on the streets. We do not necessarily need to discuss it as an agenda item. I can perhaps raise this issue at our special meeting to discuss the law and order situation in 2024. I think there is really no improvement with the problem of begging for alms on the streets, and we see that pretty much in every district, so we can perhaps discuss that with the administration on that day. Thank you. Dr. Chow Man Kong. We have 70% of the cases being inception cases, and 70% of these deception cases are online deception cases. But with these cases, the penalties are quite deterrent, but are not really that deterrent. With robbery cases, we would have really deterrent penalties. So how can we combat these cases by increasing their penalties? Because they make a great amount from such deception acts. Next, I would like to talk about how we can have facilitating clearance arrangements to facilitate cargo clearance. Say at the Heng Yunwei control point, we have yet to have round-the-clock clearance or passenger clearance, but then we could at least provide round-the-clock clearance for vehicles so as to enhance connectivity with the mainland. Thank you. Secretariat, please note the relevant views. Mr. Tan Kao Piu, The other members already discussed the issues that I would like to discuss. Is there anything else that you would like to say? None. Thank you. Mr. Lamson Kung, I want to talk about some restricted area permit issues. We have recently great development near the borders, but for Lok Ma Chau and various other control points, the areas nearby are restricted areas. And in Shenzhen, they have long opened such areas in the vicinity of their control points. But we still have restricted area orders that would really impede that. So how can we relax the restrictions in the closed area orders? Thank you. Mr. Dominic Lee. Thank you, Chair. We have all along been calling for longer hours, operational hours for control points, and I hope that we can continue to follow up on this issue in this session. I would also like to raise issues that have already been raised by other members on illegal adoption or detention of Hong Kong individuals in, say, Myanmar. I hope that we can follow up on this issue. Ms. Elizabeth Court. The issue of bogus refugees raised by another member has been followed up on by another member, and we're spending over $1 billion on them. I hope that we can continue to follow up on the issue to really tackle the root cause of the problem, and I hope that we can discuss that as an agenda item. Next, on online deception, it is still very serious, the problem, so we should discuss that as well. Thank you. Mr. Lee Chen Kang. Thank you, Chair. Many of our members talked about the issues of deception and bogus refugees. I think we can perhaps talk about how we can make use of technologies, contactless clearance, or maybe the inspection arrangements, the new inspection arrangements at the new Huanggang port to be adopted to see if it can be extended to other control points. We would perhaps also discuss how we can make use of technology at the new Huanggang port or Sentin Technopole, how we can facilitate passenger clearance. Thank you. Professor Chairman Kong. I would like to add something, Chair. I understand that the administration would like to combat the use of etomidate, that is space oil. In future, can the administration report on other potential drugs that may be abused, that may become prevalent among youngsters in future, because parents are very concerned? Can we discuss the issue of drugs, how we can do better in prevention and enforcement? I know that the police may not be fully up to date because there is rapid advancement in the drugs available, but at least we should have an awareness of what is going on. Thank you. Dr. Kennedy Wong. We have commissioned the 3-runway system for a month or so now. We expect a lot more flights in future. So perhaps through the chairman, can we get more information from the administration on the resources available at the airport, the situation, or whether they would have other plans for anti-terrorism operations? Thank you. All right. Are there any other members who would like to propose items for discussion for this session? If not, Mr. Yang Wing-kit, the Deputy Chairman, and I will meet with the Secretary for Security to formulate the work plan in due course. Moving on to the next agenda item. Any other business? No other business. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.